Today we'll be interrupting your regularly scheduled Insane EU4 mod for another Insane EU4 mod. Aevum Lupi Bicipitis is not exactly a new mod. I have in fact even played it once on the channel before in a stream a few months ago, but it did receive a new update roughly a month ago. And despite the lore being, from my perspective, utterly incomprehensible, it does have some pretty neat mechanics and things that I've never seen before in any EU4 game. This is the world of Aevum Lupi Bicipitis. Given a cursory glance at the map, I would not blame you for having absolutely no idea where the point of divergence is supposed to be in this alt history mod. If I remember right, I think the entire point, the premise behind this, is that the migrations that happened after the fall of Rome were a lot more extensive and aggressive and a lot more far-flung than they were in our timeline. So that leads to some pretty funky things happening, like Serbia existing in Central Asia, so that's cool. Two last things before we get started with our country of choice is that there is the Holy Roman Empire, but it is in Italy, which kinda makes more sense for a Holy Roman Empire. And lastly, there actually used to be a third Rome, if you can believe it. One in Africa, the Southern Roman Empire, which very recently fell apart into these successor states over here. That's what we're going to be playing today. We're going to try to restore the African kingdom, the Southern Roman Empire, and then from there, who knows? Down here in Southern Rome, we have a few things to note. One would be the cultures. We have a few somewhat Latinized cultures, the same way you would expect in, say, France, or Gaul, my bad, as well as a few Amazigh cultures, and notably one Latin culture in the Elector of Tunisia. We also have our own religion. Indictian Christianity is quite a bit more decentralized from Catholicism, so the Pope has no sway over us. It's also not a very large religion, only encompassing parts of northern Africa. And our mechanics are basically identical to vanilla Coptic. In fact, we get to start with 2 blessings, so we might as well go ahead and pick them up. I think it would be best to go ahead and grab Morale of Armies and Manpower Recovery Speed, as well as either Tolerance of the True Faith or Diplo Rep. I think I'd sooner go for the Diplo Rep. I don't think there's anything in particular we have to pay attention to when it comes to estates, as in nothing special for this country. So of course I'll take the pretty default stuff like the point privileges, increased levies, supremacy over the crown, whatever makes the estates happy. As for our rivals, I think we actually will want to go ahead with Moria. There's a very good reason for that, as well as, let's say, Nundia, and maybe these guys. Kinda weird that these are the ones who rivaled me, because these are the countries we want to expand into. Now, the reason we wanted to rival Moria is because we can finish off this mission, the Backstabbers Do. For full imperial restoration to take place, it's imperative to put down the long-standing rebellion headed by the Morinid plebeians. Gives us a permanent claim on this province up here, as well as a subjugation CB on Moria. Although, I'm not sure why it lasts 760 years. Anyway, according to the lore, which we can see from this decision over here, Moria is one of the countries that declared their independence from us after the collapse of the Southern Roman Empire. So they will be the first ones that will be brought to heel. Aside from that, we also have another mission here to get rid of that one loan that we mysteriously took at the start of the game for a reason I don't know why. Anyway, we will need 50 ducats for that, and I absolutely would not mind taking a little bit of money out of my provinces just to do that. After all, it does give us 12 yearly tax income equal to 1 ducat per month for 30 years, and if you do the math, that's a whole lot more than 50. That in fact brings us to our government reform, the Aldabin Empty Throne, along with increasing the influence of the estates, giving us yearly corruption and reducing our national tax. We also have a government mechanic. There are very few ways at the start of the game to be able to get restoration power, so we're going to have to complete a few missions to actually start gaining anything substantial. But while we do, we will gain discipline, estate loyalty equilibrium, and reduced state maintenance. And if we reach 100, we get to change our government reform. So we have a lot to do, we might as well get started. For us to defeat these guys, we're probably going to need a stronger army, and unfortunately, we don't really have much money or manpower. So we can go ahead and ask the burghers for a couple of loans. And where I would normally just pick up the free company, I actually really like these guys. 2533 general, 6 infantry, and some pretty decent stats. They're a little more expensive, but that's an excellent general. We're not going to find anything better than that in the early game. We immediately start off with an event. We got the top option, which could be local manpower modifier, or we could just reduce our tax. I feel like it makes a lot more sense to just go for the manpower, but clearly this means that it's going to lead to something, right? It's never that simple. We're very lucky that Maria didn't end up allying anybody, so we can immediately go for subjugation. If we're going to be forced to have a siege race, I feel pretty confident in saying we can win this. Go and crush that army. Oh man, a whole stack wipe, sheesh. I'll just go ahead and wipe this army real quick. Might as well vassalize them, grab all their money. The whole point behind this mission was more so to take this one province to deny them access to the Mediterranean. But since I did subjugate them with that CB, I will get the province anyway, plus a free core and 3 manpower in it. Next, we're gonna have to decrease Maria's liberty desire. Easier said than done because those guys do not like us. Conveniently, we're the first one to take the admin tax, and that's some free innovativeness. Same for all the techs, actually. Nice. Renaissance is here. Still spawning in Italy as expected. Oh hey, Carthage. Wait a minute. They left the Empire and became Carthage. Well, that'll make my life easier. Let's go ahead and take some land back real quick. Oh yeah, what do you know? Okay, so Carthage, I believe, also just changed religions. They start off Catholic, I believe. The fact that they've changed religions means that they've converted another holy site for us. I think this time I actually want to go with missionary strength. Mostly because for us to grab any of the other holy sites, we're going to need to grab them from Romania. You might have noticed I allied up with Spania a little while back. I've been currying favors to eventually go ahead and invade these guys. I'm not feeling overly ambitious, so I'll just go ahead and grab this stuff down here. Ooh, you don't happen to have a really good fleet, do you? Because I really don't. Racleon has 4 heavies? Brother. Okay, we cannot fight that. In fact, actually, it's looking kind of doomed for our ally. Sorry about that. And the siege is complete. Unfortunately, we can't exactly help our ally. See, our enemies happen to have over 50 ships, and we do not. Our subject here, Maria, is actually loyal at this point, so we can go ahead and finish off this mission. The lore would make a lot more sense if I hadn't gone ahead and grabbed them as a subject to start with. But anyway, we get more claims to southern Maria, Tafilalt, and Sus. And since they're a subject, we gain Diplo Rep and Diplo Annexation cost for the next 15 years. I have been able to get a couple of skirmishes in, occasionally getting rid of like 1 or 2 ships, but it's really not a lot. And of course, since I have to retreat each time, I can't actually steal the enemy ships, I can only delete them. So we're having a great time. Ooh, champion of the joust, you say? Please don't be bad. Oh, he's horrible. That's great. That has to be, I think, the minimal number of pips you can get for 100 tradition. In fact, that's fewer pips than I could get right now if I were lucky. Wait a second, why do I have another blessing? What happened? Wait, What? Okay, that's new. I guess we'll go ahead and grab fort defense? Sure. There's no way I'm gonna win this, so I can simply retreat at this moment, but the blockade is momentarily broken, which gives me just enough war score combined with the fact that they do technically have revolts right now for me to be able to take the provinces that I want. Obviously, we're not going to be taking that anytime soon, but it means I can also take a little bit of money. I'm thinking there might be a bit of an issue with this mission here. It requires that all of the provinces in North Moria are directly owned by me. Meanwhile, we also have a little bit of an extra bonus if our subject, Maria, still exists. But Maria, of course, has this province, so there is a way to complete it, but I don't like it. I'm going to have to steal this province from them, which will make them very angry. But then I can complete the mission, which will then decrease their liberty desire. It's kinda weird. But if I take the province, that will allow me to finish this one off. And the best part of it all is that it doesn't even decrease the liberty desire back down to a manageable level. Very cool. In the meantime, we might as well go ahead and grab this gold down here. Alright, our guy is of age, and we have an heir who sucks. We will probably get rid of that guy. Off you go. Fortunately, that means we can finish off this mission. I just need to win a couple more battles. It will be a little while before the Renaissance moves in our direction, so we might as well pick up the next tech. I usually take offensive ideas to start off my campaigns, but this time I'm actually going to go with quality. We do have a mission that pretty much requires it, although it doesn't strictly require quality ideas. 20% discipline is also not super easy to get, especially early in the game. Really glad that these guys ended up taking the bait. I left this fort down specifically because I knew the AI couldn't resist that. Now we get our favorable battle. and the subsequent stack wipe. I'll go ahead and grab just a little bit of prestige from war reps, plus like a few ducats. Why not? And from these guys, of course, full annexation. Oh, right, I forgot. Since, of course, we are a Christian country, we still have access to personal unions. That's something I should think about a little more, maybe. Anyway, we can grab our Diplotech, core up all that territory. Of course, we'll reduce the autonomy in the Gold Province. Well, all the provinces. 2, 3, 4? No thank you. Looks like they're done fighting. That means it's my turn. Before I destroy them, I do have to make sure to bully them at least a little bit. So that'll be 2 more battles. I'll wait for them to hire a couple more men. That should just about do it. Lucius Galani is our ruler, so completing this mission will give us an additional military power per month, and he's now an African monarch, whatever that means. Most importantly, winning naval or land battles will give us plus 0.5 restoration power. I can go ahead and fully annex these guys. Nobody seems to be complaining. Before I do that, actually, let me go ahead and sell some titles, because then I can get more crown land from this war. There we go, now back to 11%. Wouldn't mind paying off my 4% loans as well. If you're wondering, by the way, our subject does have their own mission tree. If you wanted to play them instead, it is completely different from ours. Much more focused on colonization rather than restoring southern Rome. Man, I was looking forward to just invading this guy with no problem, but I guess somebody needed to declare war. See, the idea I had was that I was going to just bully this guy for a while to get enough restoration power to finish off this mission, because then I could actually take this and it would be useful. But it is what it is, and it's really not that big of a deal because we can just use manpower to gain restoration power. In fact, I should probably do that a lot more often, since we do have a lot of manpower. Anyway, all I need to do is employ a military advisor. We'll just take whoever's cheapest. Morale of armies is fine with me. That should allow us to finish off Broken Aegis, giving us 50 military power and some monthly Aldeban restoration for the next 30 years. The tier 2 reform, I'll go ahead and grab extra tax. It'll help counteract the effects of this over here. There you go, that is our last blessing. Didn't expect to get them this early on, but I'm not complaining. Having wrested control from the clerics over here, we can now turn our attention east. Another thing I think I'd like to do at this point is try to make progress on this mission, which requires 25 development in the capital. Should be simple enough. Having completed that, we will get a half-cost level 2 advisor, one I'm not quite sure if I can actually use at the moment, considering how broke we are. But more importantly, we get the ability to develop provinces in exchange for restoration power. Conveniently enough, I did want to develop this gold mine over here. You have to be kidding me. Okay, we'll fix that in a minute. Good government policies. You know what? I think I would like to grab another stability. I do also need to start integrating this subject, since I only have a couple of years left on that modifier that is specifically given to me to annex this guy. We can fix that through a couple of different methods. First, we can pay off their debt. I think I would also probably want them to divert trade, maybe, and in exchange, I can give them a little bit of development. I really just need the opinion bonus from transferring trade, and that should be just enough with a gift. So how long will that take? Ooh, just a little too long. That's unfortunate. I think I might be able to speed that up though, can't I? You know what I can do? I can go ahead and grab religious diplomats for additional diplo rep, and I could also go ahead. I have a little bit of liberty desire, but it's not too bad. I'll grab the integration policy. Oh boy, why? I don't want to go to war with this guy. But you know, if I say no to this, then that'll decrease my diplo rep, which is the one thing we can't have happen right now. Also gonna grab this diplo rep guy to make that go even faster. Now it'll only take until February of 1467. This, unfortunately, ends in January of 1467. Oh, what have you done? That's unfortunate. I didn't expect him to actually give me territory. I kind of didn't want it. I mean, I kind of did, of course, since it's really nice to have the strait crossing. You know, there actually is something I could do. They're not going to like it very much, but that's why I have reduced their liberty desire by removing the divert trade. See, the biggest problem is that they just have slightly too much development. So, simple answer to that would be simply take some of the development. 44%, and we can annex them in October. Perfect. Let's go ahead, sell some titles, take some land back. Forgot to take a look at the actual stats we get from the African monarch. Reduced war exhaustion, war score cost versus other religions, and strangely enough, yearly government power. I would have thought maybe it should be monthly, maybe it's supposed to be yearly. It's not exactly the biggest amount, but maybe that's intentional. There we go, we've annexed our subject at last. Let's go ahead and make all of that into states. And of course that means we've finished our mission. We get a permaclaim on Micronesia and Marian as an accepted culture. Not to mention, we're now a great power. I really did want to remain allied with Egypt for the time being, but they just had to go ahead and ally the one country I had to invade next, and it would take way too long for me to break that alliance. So I guess it is what it is. Oh right, yes, we did complete just enough battles for us to be able to finish this off. We'll upgrade our monument in our capital to level 2. Now I could decide to wait, upgrade it myself, and then do that to make it level 3, assuming the game will let me do that. But I think I prefer to move on with this part of the mission tree. Speaking of which, we've just built a whole bunch of temples. In fact, I tried to build as many as possible, even taking out a couple of loans to get that done. Specifically because every owned province with a church or cathedral gains +1 base tax, so that's 17 development right there. And of course, converting provinces now also gives us restoration power. So this is kind of a little bit broken, sort of in a way, but like not too broken. We can just decide to spend manpower to get enough restoration power to click this button, which just gives us 5 crown land at the expense of 15 loyalty. First of all, it's cheaper because it's less loyalty. Second of all, I can do it during war, which is kind of nice. Managed to bait them into attacking this Highlands province. It was a little expensive, but here's Tech 6. There isn't anything that I actually want or really need from Egypt, but I will break their alliances, and maybe a bit of money. Then from these guys, annexation. Oh, you know what? I actually did need some stuff. That's embarrassing. Well, it's not a big deal. Hey, age ability. See, I don't think we have anything special for us. Although, interestingly, if I moved my capital to Iberia, I could just grab this for myself. It's a pretty loose requirement. Not that I really feel like doing any kind of colonialism, but if I did. Anyway, in this case, I think aggressive expansion is not as big of a problem as maybe money would be. So I will take that. I would technically get Renaissance in these provinces if I waited long enough, but I'm a little too impatient for that. I feel like I could probably just keep on developing the capital, especially now that we have this level 2, reducing the development cost even further. Actually, now that I have no rebels, I'm gonna go ahead and sell some titles, and I'm gonna take out like 2 loans. I'm going to use that money to turn this into a level 3 center of trade, just to make it cheaper to develop. There we go, now we have the Renaissance. We can also go ahead and take some land back, not only once, but technically we can do it twice. So if you remember that first event that we got at the start of the game, I guess this is one of the outcomes. Permanent development cost reduction, that would have been nice to get earlier. And also a chance to either convert the entire province to Jewish, which actually happened previously. I went ahead and converted it back. Or we get tax. And we got tax. There you go. In fact, we could go ahead and debase some of this. Get a bit of money we can use to help repay those loans I took out. I was looking forward to a nice, easy war with Carthage and their very weak allies, but somebody just couldn't help themselves. For this reform, usually I take decentralized bureaucracy. But out of curiosity, I do want to see whether regional councils will actually give you more or less money from the local tax modifier. Because it does increase the state maintenance pretty considerably, so maybe in some cases it does, maybe in some cases it doesn't. It seems to be somewhat useful. Not like by a huge amount, but it is like noticeable. Now, this might be Holy Italian Empire land, but it's not like I have that much aggressive expansion with these guys. In fact, I have none. So I might as well make them a little angry. The Egyptian Navy stands no chance. We'll go ahead and siege down that capital. We can also go ahead and sell some titles. I'll use that to embrace the institution. Now we can actually pick up a few techs. Might as well also grab Malta while we're here. Alright, those 4 provinces, the only stuff I need for that one mission, then full money and war reps, and I'm good to go. Alright, we have fixed the borders, giving us permaclaims on Tunisia. That'll make it a little bit cheaper for us to annex Carthage. Or to core it, really. We also get infantry combat ability for the rest of this guy's life. Hopefully he lives a little longer, especially since I forgot to get rid of this guy. Let's see, if it's before the year 1500, we can get the General Steed, which gives us elephants. Huge. Okay, I'm definitely taking that. Who cares about paying off debt? We get elephants. We've also rescued Carthage, in quotations. Just don't look at all the flames and smoke billowing out of the city. The rest of the game, we get morale of navies and naval tradition from battles. Pretty strong. Oh, you know what? I think I could take that. The awkward thing about Spania, actually, is that they were a nice distraction in the first war, but I really should not have kept their alliance after that. I actually do need to take some of their stuff, so I'm just gonna go ahead and absolve that real quick. I'll find a new ally in Sweden, in quotations, sure. Time for round 3, I guess, with Raklion. 2.5. Votes won't save you this time. Go ahead and stack wipe this guy. Or maybe now. I guess I could go ahead and pick up the next idea group. Not sure exactly what I would use it on, though. Maybe exploration, but I'm really not feeling it, and I don't think the mission tree really cares either way. You know what, actually, it sounds like it would be kind of weird, but I have an idea, so I'm gonna take court ideas. The next age ability, we'll just go ahead and grab Justified Wars. Don't need much from these guys, just gonna break their alliance, ask for a little bit of money, that's fine. I decided that I actually did want to annex Cyprus, so this war took a little longer than I had first anticipated. It's also just kind of a pain to keep them around, or I guess to keepers them around. Speaking of keeping countries around, I didn't expect Raklion to be over 100% war score, and then I realized that they actually have a lot of territory outside of this area. They have the islands over here that I went ahead and sieged. They also own stuff over here for some reason, and of course they colonize, so they have colonies. Good for them, I guess they'll be exiled to the New World. But anyway, despite the pretty bad aggressive expansion, I will be taking all of their holdings in mainland Iberia. With that, we've completed this mission over here. This gives us an additional 35 trade power in this province for 30 years. We do also get some permaclaims. Of course. Can never be this simple, can it? Before we go to war again, I'll go ahead and sell some titles, some of the diet as well, to make sure the clergy aren't too upset that I can see some land. Looks like the Renaissance finally spread to these desert provinces down here, so we'll start the Golden Era. That'll actually allow me to pick up Admin Tech 8, also giving me the active uniformity so I can convert a little bit faster. We have to seize this opportunity though, because our ally is also allied to these guys, but fortunately they are not willing to help at the moment since they are currently engaged with Pontia in their south. You know what? I do really need an heir right now. The only reason I wouldn't be getting PU'd is because I'm at war, but if I end this war and then this guy dies, it's kind of over. So, yeah, at 315, I think I can live with that. I'm gonna take this stuff from this guy. Mostly money, war reps, couple of provinces as well. With that completed, we get our perma claims, including on some of the stuff I just took, which will make it a little bit cheaper to core. We'll also get 35 years of ship durability on a specific kind of ship we have, called the African Latin ship. Speaking of which, we do get 5 of them. Not sure if I mentioned these before, but they're very good. They get increased cannons, increased durability, of course that's from the mission, as well as increased ship trade power, but more importantly, they also get the transport units. Now that we've finished off quality ideas, we can finish off this mission. It will give us the next tech, which would be Miltech 9. It would also require colonialism normally, and it's quite a bit ahead of time. But we can take it right now for free. I think we have the power to make some fairly aggressive plays at the moment, so I wouldn't at all mind actually going after these guys. Kind of insane just how much we outclass enemy armies. 20% infantry combat ability, 32% cavalry combat ability, 10% artillery, only 6.5% additional discipline, but you know, we did grab the next military tech way ahead of time. Now, Bipoli, I will take the entire thing. Thank you. Uh-oh. Someone call an ambulance, but not for me. I'm only gonna take this stuff. It's not a lot, but it does include some of the claims that I need to take for another mission. Finally finished off court ideas. Our policy combined with our quality ideas gives us army professionalism. Definitely take a free stability, but I think I might bump it up by once, even if it's a little bit expensive. Yeah, I think we're ready to invade these guys once more. We do have a few missions that require these provinces. And if possible, I'd like to see if I can farm up a little bit of restoration power. I would like to try to complete this. Problem is, you kind of have to do it all at once. Otherwise, the longer you wait, the more you're fighting an uphill battle. So, we'll see. In fact, I'm kind of hoping I can just like go back and forth, like get rid of random stacks, because every time we win a battle, any battle, even if it's against a 1k, we do get 0.5 restoration power. We also have sort of a funny dynamic here, where I want to win battles, but I don't actually want to like stack wipe too hard. It's in my interest to just like bully the enemy troops as much as possible. That's expensive, but I think I'll take it because 3 innovativeness is pretty good. I mean, God, we already have 45 in 1506. Absolutely insane. Only want to take out 1 loan though, so I'll just go ahead and grab a little bit. In fact, because we're tax maxing so hard, we get an insane amount of money from exploiting development. I wouldn't even mind doing that, so we take out no loans. It sounds kind of stupid, but this is one of those times where I kind of wish I could gift the enemy money because I would want them to build more troops. They have 22,000 manpower. You see, that's a lot of restoration power I could get from that, so it'd be kind of cool, actually. Oh hey, don't mind if I do. Free 50 admin, sure. Okay, they did build up a bit of an army. I'm just really hoping I don't stack wipe it. Actually, even worse would be if they decide to retreat behind this fort and have to siege it too. Ooh, you guys might be insufferable, actually. You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna build up a few more artillery just to break down the walls. Okay, we're at 95% of the manpower pool, meaning at some point we will be able to press this. We can only press it twice though, that's only 30. And yeah, we're gonna need a little more than 30. Although if I think about it, that brings us up to 80. And for the other 20, it's what, 81 dev clicks for that? I think we have enough power for that, actually. 81 dev clicks? That doesn't seem like it would be too bad. But if I'm going to do that, I think I'd prefer to do it when I'm, like, completely ready for it. So I will still have to siege this first. Well, turns out I didn't exactly need those cannons, but that's fine. Also, don't worry, I am capped on points, but it's all part of the plan. It's actually kind of important. Take that siege, we make sure we fight this battle. And out of curiosity, actually, if I decided, for example, to press this button, which would cost 42, it would give me 4 development, but would that actually give me 1 restoration power? Let's find out. It does not. Never mind. Cool. Okay, as long as we don't stack wipe. Please don't stack wipe. Okay, good. I actually don't want to stack wipe that. Not a situation I end up in rarely, but actually, please recover your morale so I can fight you again. I don't want you dead. I just want to bully you. Okay, perfect. Another victory over there. Also fighting them at sea. That's great. That's exactly what we need. Just gotta walk around here and see if they're gonna hire any more people. They usually do. See, there we go. That's another stack. See, they're making some more troops here. That's exactly what I want. Okay, we're sitting at 57, which is not bad. We can get another 30, and we can definitely develop the rest. So you know what? I think we're kind of fine now. We could probably get a little bit more, though. Just like a touch. 58.4? Okay, I think I can live with that. So, all we need to do at this point would be to purge the army, which, never mind, we can only do once every 5 years. I might be cooked. My bad. Well, you know what? That actually still isn't so bad. We might still be able to develop the rest of it, I think. It'll just be more expensive, but it's a good thing I kept on stockpiling points, because otherwise, that would have been really bad. So, through the power of being Roman, I guess, I don't know, we managed to develop a whole lot. Like, this doesn't exactly tell you how many times I had to develop, but each time you develop, it only gives you 0.25, so you can do the math yourself. Around 100 times, I think, just to finish this off. We did manage to change our government reform, though. That was the big thing we needed to do the whole thing for. Boy, it took a lot of points and probably set us back quite a bit, but it was necessary. Our new reform now gives us tax instead of taking it away from us. We also have reduced development cost and increased yearly absolutism. We also now have the From Ruins to Glory ability. Presumably that is this, maybe, but maybe it's not. I don't know. But in any case, I do want to take this stuff. In fact, I may even take up to here. Doesn't seem like anybody's complaining. Might as well also grab some more reps and a little bit of money because I can. We do not have enough governing capacity, and I did just do a whole lot of developing, so we can go ahead and give out the last land rights to the clergy, because apparently I've already given them out. We've also finished this mission over here, giving us some permanent claims, so before I core all of this, it'd be useful to grab that. Oh, the thing is, though, I didn't build the trade thing in Bipoli, so we will have to wait for that, actually. Since we're going to lose a bunch of restoration power pretty quickly anyway, I think I'll just go ahead and purge these states. Okay, that marketplace is complete in this province, so I'll go ahead and grab this mission. Now, it's a trade depot, and in theory, we should get a center of trade here, but I think there might be a problem. The center of trade level in Bipoli is increased by 1. Okay, but there isn't one in Bipoli. I don't think that's working right. I assumed it would make a level 1 trade center in here, and so, I mean, that would be kind of worth it, sort of. Anyway, we can get some more claims on the rest of Egypt itself, plus 30 years of increased morale of armies and manpower recovery speed. We also get the Red Legion Mercenary Company, and sometimes some mods use green text to refer to a mercenary company that doesn't use professionalism. So, not sure if that's the case here, but I guess we'll check. Yeah, there you go. In fact, it is very cheap, minus 75% cost. Increased movement speed, increased shock, increased cavalry shock. It's not a huge company, but it has an excellent general. I think I will hire it, actually. One of the big issues we're facing right now is that we're out of governing capacity, and I've already handed out all of the land rights, so time to start building courthouses, I guess. At this point, it'll be pretty easy for me to just go after these guys. I'll go for, whatever I can take, really. Whatever's the highest war score. I guess it'll be this province. Finally, the king is dead, but he was instrumental in making sure we could even finish off what we needed to do here. Okay, I'm not really looking for much from this guy. I'm just gonna break those alliances, ask for money, and like one province should be fine. Actually, I kind of want these down here. That'll be all, thanks. Very glad to see that Saxony has not gone ahead and grabbed this province because I will need it at some point. Unfortunately, they didn't really take anything that I needed. That's good to see. Because, you know, it would be a shame if I had to go and destroy them. That would be very unfortunate. We're going to take this stuff, plus money. These are all of our claims. We will get more claims in a minute. On top of that, it's really unfortunate, but these guys are colonial, which means they're probably just going to get exiled. It is what it is, but we'll come back in 15 years and clean them up. It's fine. Unfortunately, we're also out of governing capacity. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Well, fortunately, we can keep on building courthouses. In fact, we can sell some titles and see some crown land back. Oh, also, we can do this. Now, this one's interesting because as soon as we start this, we have a clock of 30 years. 30 years to either convert 30 provinces in Iberia or to conquer all of Iberia. I think we could do this in 30 years, but also there isn't that much of a reason to take this mission until we are pretty much ready to finish off our first war with these guys as well, because we can still get the permaclaims at any moment, literally whenever we want to. So we might as well start the clock when we are pretty much done with the first war with the biggest guy that's left. And of course, also we can use that money to actually build some more courthouses because we need a lot of courthouses. Oh, and if you're asking, hey, like, hey, Corbett, why don't we just like use vassals? Wouldn't that be much easier? Because then you wouldn't have to use governing capacity. No, we need to have the whole thing. So yeah, new heir 354. I can definitely live with that. New rivalry from my former friend with which we had, what was that? 83 favors. Cool. I probably should have bumped up trust, to be honest. Thank you. Very cool, Saxony. Very neat. I guess we will have to destroy you in the end. It will cost a little bit to embrace this institution, but that's not so big of a deal. I'll just go ahead and ask for some loans. Okay, so I didn't really think about this because I didn't think anything was going to happen. There was a guy from Francia that came to the court, and it seemed like the better option would be to let him in because that would make them upset, and it would also give away crown land. So I'm thinking, okay, that's probably going to be something good. Never mind. He kills the king. Thanks, man. That's cool. At the very least, the heir is better, and the queen is, I mean, she's not bad. She technically has more points. In fact, she has more admin, and I would prefer admin right now. But that's cool. Thank you, I guess. Also decided first I would actually just go ahead and core these provinces, turn them into states, because then that would actually make this cheaper. Although I need to decrease their autonomy for that to actually be effective. Not a lot cheaper, just like 100 ducats or something. Still kind of worth it. I was afraid Francia might ally up with Saxony. Fortunately, they did not, so should be a fairly easy war. Go ahead and sell some more crown land, I guess. Could actually go and purge estates to grab some more back. And I'm going to spend that money on, could repay the loans, but I don't really want to. Instead, more courthouses. A courthouse in every province. These guys are really no big deal. We have 113% discipline, way more morale, plus not even to mention the combat ability. Another government reform. We have a pretty interesting one here. We have at least 50 army tradition. We can enact this, which gives us manpower recovery speed, reduced infantry costs. It also gives us the ability to spend army tradition to gain discipline. Cool concept, not sure if I'm actually going to use it that much. This is kind of interesting, actually. Military courses and studies lose 250 military power, but we unlock 4 tiers of professionalism. Might as well check it out. Choose the modifier for the 30% professionalism tier. Oh, I see. So as we get more professionalism, we gain more things. That's a really good combo, actually. In fact, if I can stack siege ability with this, ooh, I think I like this. 50% professionalism. I don't even think we need the shock damage or fire damage. Like, we're so powerful, it doesn't really matter that much. But also, land attrition doesn't really matter because we make so much manpower. Sure, we'll take that. Max manpower maneuver, max general siege. That could be good. Yeah, sure. At 90%, we get to pick through these. Kind of like the national unrest decrease. That's pretty good. I'll take that. Okay, so look at all this. We have so many new things here. That's actually really cool. And it also combos really well with something else I have planned, so we'll see. Oh, it would be perfect to take this right about now. Insane stack wipe just happened. I didn't think it would be one, which is why I didn't mention it, but that's 21,000 soldiers that just got stack wiped. Very cool. Now that I'm just about to finish this war, I'll go ahead and grab this mission, giving me a permaclaim on the entirety of Iberia. Therefore, I will not be paying 114 Diplo for this. Now, this gives us 2 options when it comes to the conquest of Iberia. The top option will require us to convert 30 provinces to our faith, and let's be honest, we're like pretty much there already. I don't actually want to go down that option because, I mean, It's alright, it gives us an extra missionary, and it also increases our holy order. It improves it so that it actually puts 2 base tax in all provinces. But the bottom option is the one I'm really interested in. 2.5% yearly army professionalism? That's an insane amount, to the point where I feel like it should have just been like 0.25, and maybe that was a typo. Absurd amount of professionalism. So yeah, I will take this option. Besides, another minus 15% war score cost versus religions. It's a no-brainer. Now that being said, I will still take a full peace deal here because we now have 30 years, meaning even if I couldn't full annex this guy in the following war, which obviously we will be able to, we'd still have even more time left, so I'm not too concerned. Now let's upgrade ourselves to an empire, although I could have sworn we were supposed to be one. Ah, no, that's this over here. Right, okay. Well, might as well go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and core everything. You can also go ahead and see some crown land, of course, build some more courthouses. At this point, I think we can safely say it would be a good idea to move our trade capital to Iberia. Or, sorry, Eastphalian, I guess. Actually, don't remember if these count as Iberia or North Africa. Region Africa, continent Europe. Sure, man, whatever. So technically not part of Iberia, we'll still conquer it anyway, I don't care. Now that everything's been cored up, we might as well go to war a second time, maybe just to finish off these guys. So, yep, I will take everything. Cool. Thank you. Let's go ahead and sell some titles, see some crown land back, use that money to, I guess, get more money. There we go. Looks like they're done falling apart. Let's go make this guy a co-belligerent, and then we'll go to war. Actually, don't want to win this war too quickly, because I don't have enough admin to core everything. So we're going to sit back and wait for them to surrender. That would actually be a perfect timeline for us. Oh, that's interesting. This only costs 500 to upgrade. That's rare. Okay, might as well get started. We have like a ton of manpower too. New guy in charge, plus a new heir. Not bad. 362. Go ahead and sell some more titles. We still make a lot of money off that. In fact, I can repay all of my loans. Build a couple of buildings. Okay, they were taking a little too long, so just went ahead and pieced out with that guy. And I will take everything. Full annex, including that one province that's like in the Caribbean, but I'm going to take it too anyway. The aggressive expansion actually isn't even too bad. All we need to do is wait 4 years, then go after these guys. Should be pretty easy. Oh shoot, right, of course you're gonna have separatists there. Yeah, that's just kind of too bad. I guess they're getting their freedom. Okay, it might actually be over for me. Because even if I subjugate and incorporate everything here, the existence of these rebels on this one island will automatically free everything over here too. I love how EU4 works, which is obviously a problem. Really dumb problems require even stupider solutions. So I'm gonna ask for knowledge of this. Thank you. So we actually can see over here, so we can actually reach our own provinces. We can finally pick up Tech 10. Not sure exactly which idea group I want. I'm just having fun with the idea groups at this point. So I'm going to pick up infrastructure. You'll see why. Maybe. More importantly, now that we have Tech 10, we can actually form Africa, like the formable. So that's cool. Our ideas are really strong, so I'm hoping the ones we get are actually going to be good. It's really hard to beat these though, because holy, they are absolutely correct ideas. And let's see, it's not bad. Still might actually prefer the original ideas, but these aren't bad at all. Anyway, of course we get a whole bunch of new missions, because why wouldn't we? It's also sort of funny that like our flag is Scandinavia, but anyway. Oh yeah, that's a whole lot of stuff to go down. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not going to be doing all this. Not today. Oh, all we need is a monthly income of at least 20. Well, I'd say we've kind of finished that a little bit. I think that works. What else do we need? Workshops, 10 production in these provinces. You drive a hard bargain. We can go ahead and sell some more titles. Wait, what just happened? I looked over to the right just to see like, oh, I wonder how they're doing over here. Caliphate popped out of nowhere. Okay. I was about to say doomed to fail, but that's 100,000 soldiers. Maybe not doomed to fail. I think having over 100,000 men is a little bit overkill for this war, but they are guaranteed by Saxony. It's completely my mistake because I left this one province here. Consequences of my own actions, I guess. But anyway, it's time to actually annex this guy. Oh right, also, because we are Africa, we can finish off this mission. We get infantry combat ability until the death of our current ruler, as well as monthly Aldaban restoration and war score from battles. So we have a whopping 35% infantry combat ability, pretty much playing the Prussia of Africa at this point. Really poor choice to not put a general on that. Oof, what was that? 28,000 people stack wipe. That's not even a loss, that's just a tragedy. Oh, those guys took Tech 12. Okay, well, give me 2 months. I'll grab that too. I think we're done with Saxony. I'll take full money in war reps. This time I will not make the same mistake. I will fully annex you. 120% overextension. That's crazy. Wild how that works. Pretty big coalition. Anyway, we finished off this mission within the time limit with much more time to spare. We get some permaclaims, we get yearly prestige, land leader shock for 15 years. Most importantly, we get yearly army professionalism for the rest of the game. Absolutely unhinged amount of army professionalism. 2.7% yearly. Okay, so that's what I was trying to do with these ideas here. If I had to take quality, I was like, well, it does combo with court ideas to give me more yearly professionalism, and it also combos with infrastructure to give me more yearly professionalism. What I was mostly interested in was seeing if the rest of the tree would give you even more professionalism, because if you can get a permanent 5% yearly, then you can keep slacking recruiting standards on literally permanently for the rest of the game. And at the very least, this plus 2.7 yearly means that we can keep it on pretty much whenever we're at war. Not that we really even need to, because we do gain 1.8 thousand men per month. All of it was just for the meme. That's kind of it. Since in terms of manpower, we already have the highest and we already gain the most per month, at least that we can see. I think that would actually be a good place to end things off, though. That's the major thing that I wanted to show off, was that incredible professionalism we get each year. It also ties in, of course, with that reform we took, so we would get an absolutely insane number of bonuses from having high professionalism. I did mention at one point that we do have more missions, of course. We have missions that bring us into Italy, all the way up into France, through Egypt, into the Levant, into Anatolia, and the Balkans. Presumably the end goal would be forming Rome, since of course we are southern Rome. So with that idea in mind, it's pretty much what you'd expect. There are some pretty interesting mechanics mixed in here though, so I would recommend, if you want to play this country, absolutely do. I have not shown nearly the extent of the cool stuff in this mission tree. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. If you did and you want to leave a like, that would be hugely appreciated, even though I'm not promising a part 2 for this one. And of course, if you're new here and you want to get notifications for whenever I drop a video, then go ahead and subscribe. For now, this is Corbett signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day. Shout out to all the patrons for this month. These people not only help make the channel possible, but also receive early access to videos. So a big thanks to Erica, Baby Cal, Born to Dunk, The Quebecer, Nick Steffel, Hubert, AG Forero, Ben Mottram, Quiet Guy, Rosset, Torvalv, Ambient Cyan, James Levy, Luke78776, White Rook, and Robert.